it's kind of a buzzword in a way, ironically, in our time, at least here, this part of the world in our time, is authenticity. People want that stuff that's authentic. And we do, and I do, right? But then the tragically ironic thing is that things which appear authentic are considered more valuable. And so there's this incentive to appear authentic. And that in and of itself has this self-defeating quality. If you're trying to appear authentic, then there's some sort of go-between between the authentic you and the appearance of you. You know, you can't wear a real mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't and still show your face, as it were. And so I'm trying to think what are ways that I can just. What does it sound like when I make music? How can I show people what it sounds like when I make music? You know, I was playing with that on Instagram too earlier this summer. Instagram, again, I don't know if you can kind of actually swim in that pool and still be authentic because it's all performative, really. But I kind of realized that the way the algorithm works now completely kind of screws over people like me, because I'm not going to play the game and try to like feed the algorithm so that it shows me stuff. I just don't want to do that. And therefore, it's not showing my stuff to my followers, basically, right? But I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to care. I'm just going to I was kind of trying to play a game where I was just doing these doodles with pencil crayons, literally. I was just trying to see what it was like to draw, and it wasn't very good, but I liked it. I was like, I'm just going to share that. That's what I did, you know. So I put that out,
and how did it go?
Like 12 likes, you know. They didn't.
Get my camera. Get my phone. Get my phone. I'm gonna like it right now. We're getting 13.
No, but that was the thing. Like, this is the experiment for me. I was like, it was a means of. If I was really serious about it, I'd just get rid of the app. But if I'm not going to get rid of the app, then I want to see how far I can remove myself from caring about the engagement of this thing, you know? And so just doing that. And then with music, it's a similar trap you can fall into, where in my 20s, when I started putting music out, I was just kind of like, I got really anxious about it, really urgent about it, because I felt like I'd waited so long and I'd wasted so much time, and all my friends.
You're in your early 20s.
Oh, it's how it feels, all right? Yeah,
we're downhill from here.
I was as old as I had been, you know. Yeah. And I felt like this urgency. I gotta get this stuff out. I gotta do this. Gotta do this. And consequently, I put out some really astoundingly mediocre music. You know, like
what to you qualifies it as mediocre?
I think I'll answer in two ways. The first, like, big picture way is that I feel like I can always tell there's this, and you might get this. You write music too.
Yeah.
When you're writing something and you just know, you're like, this is like approaching that ineffable, difficult, like, combination of cool harmony and catchiness, or whatever your metrics are for what you think is good. When you're getting close to that thing and it's original and it kind of sounds like you, as it were, it's like, oh, that's it. That's the thing, right? And so this is the big picture answer. And so a lot of that stuff that's out there doesn't do that. And it didn't do it when I wrote it. I just kind of think, oh, this is kind of cool. This is catchy. I got to put something
trendy, kind of.
Yeah, like at no point, if you'd asked me in those moments, like, are you trying to kind of placate some sort of, what people want to hear, I wouldn't have said yes. But I wonder if that's more because I would have been ashamed to say yes, more so than it was true. And so that's the first thing. The second thing, more specifically, what do I think is good, or like by what metrics do I measure the value or success of my own art? I'd say, like, I love so much interesting harmony. And when I say harmony, for those who aren't musicians, I don't mean like when someone sings along with a melody. I mean like the actual chord structures, the notes that go into making a chord. Not only that make the chord, but the relationship of one chord to the next, and the next and the next. And that's like the thing that really does it for me in the biggest way. That's the musical element that I'm most obsessed with. But then the way that the melody, if you can write a melody that's still catchy, even though the harmony is interesting, like, that's really cool, right?
Yeah, that's where the Venn diagram.
Totally, that's the Brian Wilson stuff, or the Radiohead stuff, or the like Elliott Smith stuff. That's my true north. And then song form and structure, and then instrumentation and all that stuff. That's all in there too. But a lot of the stuff that I've put out in my 20s doesn't do that. It just doesn't. It's just like diatonic. It's all in the same key, maybe the odd chord thrown in just to kind of make me feel like I'm doing something creative. But it wasn't that good. Now, having said that, I think I probably had to go through that to get to where I am, maybe, but the stuff that I'm sitting on and have been for like 5 years I think it's pretty good. But because I think it's good, I'm all obsessed with trying to get it right now, and then I got to relearn that lesson that anything worth doing is worth doing badly and just put it out and move on.